Hi everyone, Bandanner here, and welcome to this week's WARNO Devblog. So, a potpourri of divisional news, they say. It's an unusual title. Not often do you hear the term potpourri these days. Basically, it just means a mishmash. So this devblog, as you can imagine, relates to changes to various divisions, and the first up is the Berliner Gruppierung. While the new 6 Guards seems to be popular, the big split proved more detrimental to the original Berliner Gruppierung than expected. So we decided to beef up the latter East German division by allowing it to play more to its strengths. This means more generous activation point slot distribution, especially but not only in the infantry, air and helo categories. Better VACT infantry squad availability, more Mott-Schützen, access to more Mi-8 gunship helicopter variants, and access to the BRDM-2 Malyutka. They're also adding the new UAZ 469 AGS-17 as a transport recon option for the Mott Grenzer recon squads. The Grenztruppen were the only East German users of the AGS-17 grenade launcher. Fixed the missing 2nd LMG in all of the new Mott-Schützen infantry squad variants, the Strela AA, the SVD Marksman, and the Metis ATGM. We also fixed the squad's lower Metis loadout compared to other ATGM-equipped infantry. And that's everything for Berliner Gruppierung. Hopefully that makes them a little bit more effective, fingers crossed. Next up are the KDA. So the changes to the KDA will also affect the Berliner Gruppierung as well, because they have some overlap. So one change is a replacement of the KDA Schützen squad's RPG-7 with an older RPG-2, and a price update is also part of this deal. So the idea is, in this way, the KDA will come in a variety of different anti-tank flavors for their infantry. So the KDA will be equipped with the RPG-2, which has 10 AP, and that's a cheap melee squad but with an older rocket launcher. And then the Reservisten, which will be featuring the RPG-7 VM with 14 AP, and then the Mott-Schützen, which will be featuring the RPG-7 VL with 18 AP. And that's everything for the KDA. We're now moving on to the NATO side with the Bundengrenzschutz, or the BGS. So the West German Federal Border Police, basically. Their squads were a bit too proficient in close combat thanks to the all-SMG loadout. This was neither their role in real life nor how we envisioned the squad being used in-game. Therefore, we've decided to split the unit into 2 separate ones to reflect their roles better. The BGS squads featured in the 11th Armoured Cavalry Regiment represent these small patrols, keeping a close watch on the inner German border. These will be reduced to 5-man squads, still entirely equipped with SMGs, but rebranded the BGS Streifer? I think that's how you pronounce it. I had to look it up because this is one of those things. When I lived in Germany, just total side note, E and I and E are pronounced totally different in German to how we pronounce it in English when they're next to each other in a word, and it really confused me. Anyhow, it means patrol. So it's a BGS patrol. So in case of war, the West German border guards were meant to be pulled back out and regrouped in the rear areas. Here they would guard against infiltrators and saboteurs, protect against raids by enemy special forces. This is why they are featured within the Territorial Commando SUD. The BGS in this division will retain the current naming and the 9-man organization of squad size, but will see a change to their small arms. They will get 3 MP5s and 5 G3 battle rifles and 1 MG3 machine gun. And they will feature a new model with Stahlhelm, the trademark World War II helmet, which they still used up until 1989, so the East German border guards opposite them would identify them as Germans too and not Americans. Both BGS units are going to be repriced accordingly. And then finally we are on to the 11th E, the French division, parachutists. So, the French are next, they say. The reservists of the 11th E made this division a bit too efficient, providing the battle group with a cheap, plentiful, and strong infantry. The reason behind including this particular unit with one of the French Army's elite formations was that the division was composed of 7 Teeth battalions, made up of 2 Metropolitan from France proper, and 4 Naval Infantry and 1 Legion paratrooper battalions. While the Legion, 2E REP, and 1 Naval Infantry, the 1ER RPIMA, acting as Divisional Special Forces Regiment, were fully professional. The other RPIMA were semi-professional, in quotation marks, and expanded with conscripts and reservists. The 2 metropolitan battalions were filled with returning reservists and fit but unruly conscripts. The reservists of the 11th E were representing this latter category of soldiers, though in real life they would be trained reservists or strong-minded conscripts. Airborne regiments were used as disciplinary units for the unruly ones. That's the historical justification, but in game terms it didn't really pan out this way, and we decided to step in. What this means: we have removed the reservists in the division. We have differentiated the remaining infantry squads to more accurately represent the original formation's battalions. The chasseurs parachutists, representing the 1ER and 9E RCP, these are metropolitan paratroopers, keeping their squad small arms and organisation, but losing the shock trait and 1 veterancy step. The Paras Marines, representing the 3E, 6E and 8E RPIMA, is a new unit representing the Naval Infantry Paratroopers and will be available in numbers. Same veterancy and organisation as the existing Chasseurs Paras, but with the A-Pelas launcher. The Paras Legionnaires, representing the 2E REP, no stat changes, and the SAS, no stat changes. We'll have to see what they're like in game, but Paras Marines sound like they just give themselves a really strong Para-Marine squad, as they say, in numbers no less. French bias. They say all the remaining infantry squads are repriced accordingly. Furthermore, the Sergei will have all their variants price changed to curb their capacity to cause a nuisance through sheer numbers. And that's everything for this week, folks. Thank you very much for joining me. Please do, as ever, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. I will just note that next week on Thursday, I am actually away on holiday, so I won't likely have this up unless, I stress, unless I manage to convince Eugen to give me access early, and then I can preemptively put the video in place. The week after that, I might be able to record it while I'm away, but I'll be traveling next Thursday, you see, so it is what it is. But I hope you all have a great weekend. I'll see you all soon.